All right, hello. I'm recording this Zoom session and this will end up watching it now on the on-demand library. I don't really like the way that Zoom records, like the quality's not great, but I'm going to be doing a class. I may as well record it for you guys. So, welcome to today's Mellow Flow. You don't need any props, but if you want to use a block to support you throughout the class, please feel free to grab a block or a sturdy hard-backed book. And then when you're ready, come to your back and into Shavasana. My name is Courtney. If this is the first time you are viewing one of my classes, hopefully participating as well. Once you have made your way onto your back, it's your choice here if you would like to have your feet together and knees wide. You may like to have your legs long and the legs slightly separated and just let the feet fall out to either side of the room. Let your arms just rest by the side. Facing up. If you find that you connect and ground yourself more effectively with one hand on your belly and perhaps the other hand on your heart, then take that option. And once you are comfortable and in your stillness here, close your eyes. And just feel your body on your mat. Connection to the earth. And then start to bring your awareness to your breath. Just that natural ebbing and flowing. Your breath is like a tide. A continuous cycle of the inhale and exhale. Breathing is such an automatic, unconscious, sort of mechanical action of our bodies. We don't have to think about it. We don't have to concentrate on it in order to go about your day. But when we do start to draw a little attention to it, we can start to connect and deepen that connection to ourselves and to the present moment. As we inhale, you can feel that filling up of the lungs, even right down into the belly, giving yourself space in your torso to take in as much fresh air as possible. And then as you exhale, you can feel the belly soften, the rib cage gently close down. And you can start to lengthen that exhale as you gently press that air out of the body. So we start to take a little more mindfulness and a little bit more of an active awareness for this usually unconscious rhythm. And as we start to take a little bit more of an active awareness, You can start to find those little pauses just as the inhale turns into an exhale. And then as the exhale turns into the inhale. And it's in these little pauses that you can find space, presence, and perhaps a deeper awareness and appreciation for your body, the way it functions, the way it keeps you animated, moving from A to Z. And so I invite you throughout the class today to find those, maybe coming back to the breath, maybe it's being more present in a particular posture. Find those moments of presence, of awareness, and appreciation for what your body is doing all of the time. Take a deep breath in. And slow breath out. Bring your hands down by your side. Gently close the knees back together if they were wide. And then just heel toe the feet a little bit wider than your hips. So take them out to the sides of your mat. And just allow the knees to sway from side to side. So just allowing the hips to get a little loose. Getting a bit of internal rotation on the thighs, a bit of external rotation. And then come back through center. Heel toe your feet back to the middle so that you've got your feet in line with your hips. And then come into rolling bridge. So press your heels into the floor, tilt your tailbone up, squeeze your bum to lift your hips, and then lower them back down. If you can, tilt the pelvis to really peel up. So tailbone lifts first and you're peeling up the rest of the spine. And then you're melting it back down, keeping the tailbone tucked right to the end. So it's a lift up, peel the spine up, and then down all the way, rolling through the spine. Go for a couple more like that through your rolling bridges. And that nice lubrication, undulation through the spine. If you would like to, feel free to add in your arms, reaching overhead as the hips lift, and then melting down and the hands lower. We'll go for 2 more. Last one. And release. Beautiful. Hug your knees into. Let's go for a little rock from side to side. Feel free to take happy baby here if that's something you feel you would like to do. It is early days, but if that's something you'd like to start with, go for it. And then we'll start to rock and roll along the spine just a couple of times until you come all the way up and over into 4-point kneeling. So just wiggling yourself to the middle of your mat, hands under shoulders, knees under hips, just going straight into your cat-cow. Dip your belly, and then around the spine. Really stick that tailbone up, lift the chest, heart space forward, and then scoot the belly, tuck your tailbone, push the floor away. Just a couple more. If you want to add any extra little movements, go for it. You can sway the hips from side to side, roll the head around. And again, just finding those little spaces those little moments to appreciate the body and the way it moves, the way it can do what you want it to do. That connection. Go for one more cat-cow here. And then find your flat back and tabletop. Send your bottom back to your heels and reach your arms forward. So finding child's pose. And then scoop the belly round through the spine to lift yourself up. Just go for a little press of the hips forward and try to wrap the shoulder blades together. So open the chest. Finding like a sort of a weird high cobra. And then send your hips back to your heels. Two more like that. Ripple forward. Squeeze your bum, open the hips, open the heart. And send your bum back. One more time. Ripple forward. And send it back. And then come all the way forward. Separate your feet this time. Bend your elbows and lower yourself all the way onto your belly until you hit the floor. So take your hands a little wider. Tent your fingertips. Elbows point to the ceiling. Let's inhale and lift the chest. And exhale, lower. Inhale to lift through cobra. And then rolling back down. Squeezing your butt, pressing the tops of the feet into the floor. So nice and active through the legs. Giving yourself that space to open through your spine. One more time. Inhale. Exhale. Bring your hands under your shoulders. Gently press yourself back to child's pose. And then tuck your toes, lift your hips, finding down dog. Go for a pedal of the feet, little sway of your hips from side to side. And then press your heels to the floor. And then ripple forward. Find a plank. Drop your knees. Send your bottom back to your heels. Keep the toes tucked. You're going to scoop the belly up to lift your knees off the floor to find a crouch. Straighten your knees down dog. Ripple to your plank. Just a couple more like that. Lift up. Beautiful. Ripple forward. Excuse me, let's drop the knees to lift up. Yes, much nicer. Hips to heels. Lift the hips high, down dog. One more time. We ripple forward plank. Drop the knees. Hips to heels. Lift to your down dog. Beautiful. Go for a little pedal of the feet here. Really sway the hips, opening through the sides and backs of the legs. Maybe even getting right up into the sideways, into the armpit. One more each way. And then find down dog. Beautiful. Ripple forward to your plank. Drop your knees, untuck your toes, roll all the way down to your belly. Take your hands off to the side. We roll up through cobra here, and then just let one shoulder drop to the floor as you look to the opposite side. Come up through center, and then take it the other way. Lift, and dip. Lift, and dip. One more time, each side. Come up through center, melt all the way back down. Hands come underneath your shoulders. Gently press yourself back to a child's pose. And then ripple forward and find tabletop once again. Take your right leg back long behind you, squeeze your bottom, and then scoop your belly, pull your knee in towards your nose, push the floor away, round through your spine. And round. Option here, if you're feeling it, you can take your left arm out in front as the leg goes back, and then left elbow, right knee, pull together. Two more. Inhale, big reach. Exhale, scoop and round. Inhale, reach. Exhale, scoop and round. Reach long and hold. Maybe just staying here to open your chest. Try to lift the chest forward. Squeeze your bottom to open your hip. Or if you've got it, you can take a hold of your right foot with your left hand, finding a half bow in this tabletop position. So pressing your foot into your hand, pressing your hand into your foot. Push the floor away with that supporting arm. And then without slingshotting your foot, release it long. Right toes plant down. Readjust the hands if you need to. Dig into the floor as you push the floor away. Just one time. Scoop your knee towards your nose, lifting your left shin. Tap it down. Next time we kick it up and back. Three-legged dog. Bend your knee, open your hip. And then pull your knee in towards your nose. Plant your foot between your hands and drop your knee. Let's lift it up. So coming into your low lunge, and then just circle the hands behind your back, interlace your fingers, push that fist towards the floor, and just sink a little deeper into your lunge. So opening up through this front right hip. You may need to walk your left foot a little further so that your knee stacks over your ankle. And then puff the chest forward, squeeze your shoulders together. From here, start to flex the left toes, lift the toes up away from the floor, straighten your left knee and fold forward to your half Hanuman. From here, and if you need to release the bind, hands can come to the floor. We're going to flow through it. So we're going to inhale, lift up, puff the chest. Exhale, fold, half Hanuman. Two more like that. Inhale up. Exhale, fold. Inhale up. Exhale, fold. Inhale up and hold. Reach your hands to the ceiling. Nice big inhale. Exhale, hands come to the floor. Send your bum back, straighten your knee to find your half split. And then start to walk your hands around to the right. Twizzle your right foot around behind your right knee. Press your left foot into your mat so your left leg stays nice and long. Draw the belly in as you inhale to lift up. Reaching to the sky. Right arm continues to reach as your left hand comes down to your left leg. Going for a little side stretch in your gate pose. So strong through this lengthened leg. You can keep the toes tucked on your right foot. One more breath, really reaching long through this right side. And then exhale, come up and over. Finding a little side bend on the other side. Let's reach the left arm nice and long overhead. And then take your hand behind your head. Inhale to wrap your chest open towards the ceiling. And then exhale, wrap it under. Just three more. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. Inhale, open. Really reaching long, strong through that left leg. One more time. Inhale, up. Exhale, down. Inhale, up. Reach it tall. And then just slowly lower your left hand down to the floor. Beautiful. Sweep your right leg back, three-legged dog. And then lower the right foot down, pedal through the feet. And then ripple forward to find your 4-point kneel. Hands under shoulders, knees up. It's beautiful. Let's take the left leg long. Inhale, reach. Exhale, round. Inhale, big reach, squeezing your butt, belly drawing in. When you're ready, if you would like to, right arm reaches, elbow to knee. Reach. And round. One more time, big reach. And round. This time we reach and hold, and maybe you stay here just squeezing your bum to open your left hip, squeezing your shoulder blades together to open your chest. Maybe you bend the left knee, Reach with your right hand to grab your left foot. Squeeze your bum to open your hip a little more. Press your foot into your hand into your foot. Keep breathing. Find that ease, that space. One more breath. And then release. Right hand to the floor. Left toes down. Just one time. Scoop the belly. Push the floor away as you pull your knee to your nose. And then lower it down. This time you push back. Three-legged dog. Bend your knee. Open your hip. And then pull that knee into your nose. Plant your foot. Drop your back knee. Lifting up to Dhanurasana. Low lunge. Again, let's bring the hands behind the back. Interlace the fingers. Then opening the chest, squeeze your shoulder blades together. Maybe wiggling your right toes forward as you sink into your lunge. And then slowly coming up, flexing your right toes, straighten your right knee. Draw the belly in as you fold into your half split, your half Hanuman. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, fold. So again, matching movement and breath. Finding that little space between your inhale and exhale. Your exhale and your inhale. Last time, inhale up. Down. This time we'll hold it. Hands come to the floor. Beautiful. Slowly start to walk your hands around to the left. Plant your right foot down, toes pointing towards the side of your mat as best you can. Draw the belly in as you lift yourself up. Inhale. And then exhale, find your gate pose. Right hand to right thigh. Left arm reaching up and over. Really lengthening this left side. Strong down your right leg. One more breath. Come all the way up. Windmill your left hand down to the floor, right arm to the ceiling, and then reach all the way up and over to stretch out your right side. Lift your arm to the ceiling. Bring your hand behind your head. Just 4 of these. We inhale to wrap the chest open. Exhale, close it under. Inhale to open. Exhale, wrap it through. 2 more like that. With your breath. Reach to the ceiling. Windmill your right hand back to the floor. Twizzle yourself back around. Plant the right toes down and then lift your left leg back. 3-legged dog. Bend the knee, open the hip. And then plant your foot to the floor. Beautiful. From here, ripple forward, find plank. Drop the knees, lower all the way down to your belly. Take your hands behind your back, interlace your fingers. Enough here for you, just feeling your shoulder blades squeezing together, opening your collarbone nice and wide. You might want to lift your chest slightly away from the floor, keep your gaze down. You might like to start to push the fist further away from you and maybe lift it away from your bum. Quite a challenge, just keep breathing. One more breath. And release. Plant your hands. Send your hips back to find child's pose. Tuck your toes. Lift your hips, down dog. Take your right foot to the ceiling, 3-legged dog. Bend your knee, open your hip. And then send your knee underneath you. Bring your weight forward. Step your foot in between your hands and drop that back knee. Find yourself once again in Dhanurasana, low lunge. Beautiful. Go for a twist to your right, left hand forward, right hand back. Watch this hip isn't lifting up. Drop the hip down. Beautiful, and come back through center. This time, open twist to your left. Right hand forward, left hand back. Keep squeezing your right butt cheek to keep your knee tracking over your ankle. Come back through center. One more time to the right. And center. Left. And center. So to fold forward, straighten your right knee, finding half Hanuman. Flex your right toes back to your knee. If you can, try to shuffle yourself forward so that your hip stays over your knee, and then sink into that forward fold. A little bend in your right knee is fine. Do what you need to do. There's no perfect pose here. This is more about the forward fold than extremely straightening your knee. Maybe staying here with a little softening in the knee, you'll reach your right arm to the ceiling and find a little twist. Taking one more breath. And then landing your right hand down to the floor. Coming forward, lifting your back knee to find a runner's lunge. Inhale. Exhale, simple twist. Left hand down, right arm to the ceiling. And then circle that hand back to the floor. Ground down through the feet as you lift yourself up. Crescent lunge. Beautiful. From here, circle the hands behind your back, interlace your fingers. Little softening that back knee as you puff the chest open. Sink a little deeper into your lunge. Exhale, release. One more time, nice deep bend. Exhale, release. Plant your left heel down slightly. Well, not slightly, all the way. But just turn your left toes in. Heel toe your right foot out to the side of your mat. Coming in for humble warrior. So squeezing your bum really strong, your back leg, puff the chest open, squeeze your shoulder blades. Draw the belly in as you fold forward inside your right thigh, lifting your fist to the ceiling. Keep drawing the belly in, try to relax your jaw and your neck. Take one more breath. Slowly lifting up. And finding warrior two. So heel toe your feet back so your right heel is in line with your left foot somewhere, either middle of the foot or the other heel. Just finding the stance works for you. Let's inhale, reverse your triangle, straighten your front knee, reach your right arm up and over. And then keep that front knee straight as you reach forward through the arm, the right arm. Lengthen your waist, send your hips back. And then fold into triangle, Trikonasana. Keep that length through the side waist. Start to bend into your front knee to find side angle. Left arm overhead. And then reach your left arm back to the ceiling as you straighten your right knee into Trikonasana. Give your thighs squeeze, press through the feet. One more time, side angle. Bend the knee, reach the arm overhead. Reach that left arm to the ceiling, straighten your front knee for Trikonasana. Slowly coming into side angle. Reach your left arm overhead. Circle it down to the floor. Reach it up to the ceiling and overhead. One more time, circle it down, up and over. Beautiful. Circle your hand down. Start to bend into your left knee. Flex your right toes to the ceiling. Straighten that right knee to find Skandasana. Reaching that right arm to the ceiling if you've got your balance. And then slowly walking the hands back to the top of your mat, keeping them on the inside of your right foot. Find lizard lunge. You can drop your back knee, maybe untuck your toes. Roll to the outer edge of your right foot, maybe giving your hips a little wiggle. Giving yourself time here to find those spaces in the body, in the breath, maybe even in the mind. Sink into those spaces just for a moment. And then tucking your back toes. down. And just simply step your left foot outside your left hand, sitting yourself down into your yogi squat. So here, if you've got your block, you can pop it underneath your bottom. Give yourself some support here as we actively open our hips. Just taking one more breath. And then plant your hands to the floor, remove your block. Heel toe your feet underneath your hips. Slowly start to lift yourself up to stand, squeezing your bum, opening through the front of your pelvis as you reach the ceiling. And then exhale, draw the belly in as you fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Let's step back to a plank. Drop your knees, untuck your toes, melt yourself down onto your belly. Take your hands back behind, by your side with your palms facing down. Squeeze your shoulder blades together to lift your chest, open the collarbone, and melt down. Inhale, lift the chest, squeeze the shoulders back. This time, squeeze the shoulders back. Lift your feet by squeezing your bum, squeeze your thighs, your legs lift off the floor, keeping the knees long. Maybe your arms float off the floor as well. Reaching, reaching, reaching. Keep breathing, breathing, breathing. And then melt all the way to the floor. Carefully bringing your hands underneath your shoulders. Press yourself back to a child's pose, tucking your toes. Lift your hips high to find down facing dog. Left foot to the ceiling, three-legged dog. Beautiful. Bring your knee underneath your nose, step your foot between your hands, drop your back knee and finding Dhanurasana, low lunge. Beautiful. Take a twist to your left, right hand forward, left hand back. And inhale, come back to center. Exhale, rotate to your right. Come back through center. One more time to the left. And center. Right. And center. Beautiful. Start to straighten your front knees. Your hands come to the floor to find your half Hanuman. Then draw the belly in, spine lengthening, heart forward. Little bend in your left knee if you need it. Keep flexing your toes back to your knee. Maybe time to take that twist. Left arm reaching to the ceiling, wrapping your chest open. And then circle your hand back to the floor as you bend into your front knee. Straighten your back leg as you find runner's lunge, straight into simple twist. Right hand supporting you, left hand reaching. And then circle the hand down. A little soften in your back knee as you lift the chest up to crescent lunge. Again, circling the hands behind your back, interlacing your fingers, path the chest forward, squeezing your bottom, especially this right side. Beautiful, and deepen into your lunge, open the chest, and release. Open the chest, a little deepen into the lunge. Release, one more time. Nice and deep in that lunge. And release, keep the hands as you lower your right heel to the floor. Left foot, heel toes out to the side of your mat. So a nice wide stance. Inhale to puff the chest open. Draw the belly in as you fold forward. Your left shoulder inside your left thigh. Strong through the legs. Can you lift your fist a little bit further to the ceiling for one more breath? And then very carefully ground through your feet as you come up. Open your arms out to that T. Heel toe your left foot back to the center of your mat. And find warrior two. Deep into that left knee and that left hip. One more breath. Stay with me here. We straighten the front knee, reverse your triangle. And then come into triangle. Reach forward and then tilt that left hand to the floor. Long through the side waist to find triangle, Trikonasana. So lots of length here, length through legs, length through waist, length through arms. Slowly starting to bend into your front knee to find side angle. You can reach your right arm overhead. And then right arm to the ceiling as you press back to triangle. If for any reason this is not working for you, you can keep side angle and just come to your forearm. Just go for a little straighten, little bend in the front knee. Totally fine. Your choice how far you want to take it. Just watch you're not putting too much pressure on your knee with your forearm here as you straighten. So as you straighten, you might move the forearm up closer to your hip, just so you're not pushing your knee back. We don't want to overextend the leg. One more time. We're going to hold in our side angle, whichever version you're taking, hand to floor or forearm on thigh. We circle the hand down towards the floor, back up to the ceiling, overhead. Two more, down, back, and up, down, back, and up. Hand comes down to the floor. Walk your hands to the right side as you straighten your front leg, flexing your toes back. Maybe you're reaching to the ceiling for your twist. Maybe hands are just in prayer. Maybe the arms are reaching out wide. You've got your balance. Otherwise, hands can simply just stay on the floor. Totally fine. Heel toe your left foot out to the side and step your right foot, oh, pardon me, lizard lunge. Step your right foot back, sorry. Right knee is down. Maybe peeling your left foot off the floor, coming to the outer edge of your foot to open your left hip. Try to relax the shoulders and the jaw. Little wiggle of the hips around might feel good. And just finding that breath, those spaces in between. And then plant your left foot down, tuck your back toes and start to step your right foot. Now coming into our yogi squat, one last time. So bum sinks down. Again, block is handy here if you would like it underneath your sit bones. Let's take 2 more breaths. Try to open the chest, squeeze your shoulder blades together. Active through the upper body, but not tension, just activation. Find those spaces in the breath. One more breath here. And then plant your hands, take your block out of the way. Carefully step your feet back, drop the knees, untuck your toes. Melt yourself all the way down onto your belly. So hands will stay under your shoulders. Press the tops of your feet into the floor. Last here with our rolling cobras, we inhale to lift the chest. And exhale, lower. 3 more. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower. Space in the breath. Space in the body. Space for the mind. Next time you come all the way down, stay here. Just slide your arms a little bit further out in front of you so your elbows come under your shoulders and the chest lifts. Then start to actively squeeze your shoulders down your back and then squeeze your shoulder blades towards one another, towards your spine. So this active extension of the thoracic spine here, pressing your heart space forward. Almost like you're squeezing your shoulder blades into your spine to help press the back of your heart towards the top of your mat. Keep the gaze forward and not up. Just relax the neck. Take one more breath. And then if this feels okay for you, you want to go a little further, we'll come into seal. So just externally rotate, take your hands out to the side, keep your elbows where they are. Press through the finger pads. Squeeze your bottom to the belly in as you press your arms straight or a little bit straight, don't come all the way straight. Puff the chest forward. Proud chest, butt squeezing, belly drawing in, quite strong. Lots of spinal extension. Take one more breath. And melt all the way down onto your belly. Just bring your hand underneath your forehead here, maybe taking your gaze to one side and then to the other, just giving your neck a chance to recalibrate. And then here, option to take Ardha Dhanurasana or full Dhanurasana, so your bow pose. So Ardha is your half bow, similar to what we did in kneeling, except you're taking the same hand to foot, so same side, right hand, right foot, or left hand, left foot. The other hand is just going to stay down here and help you to press up, giving you a little bit of support as you kick your foot into your hand into your foot, squeezing your bum, squeezing shoulder blade, and release. And then of course you're welcome as you kick your foot up. You might like to take both legs, one in each hand. Press your knees away from the floor, squeezing your bottom. Try to bring your legs a little closer together if you can. Press the heart forward. Take one more breath. And then releasing all the way down. Let your legs go wide. Maybe rocking your hips from side to side. Take your right arm all the way out to your side. So out directly from your shoulder. Your left hand underneath your left shoulder, or a little bit wider. Kick your left foot to the ceiling as you bend your knee and roll onto your right side. Just stretch the front of your right shoulder and chest. Again, finding that space for the body in the breath and for the mind. Take one more breath. And simply roll onto your belly. And we'll just take it straight to the other side. Left arm goes straight out, right elbow bends, hand on the floor. And just roll onto your left side. Remembering that if the knee lifting to the ceiling doesn't feel good, you can just bend both knees. This is more about the shoulder stretch than the hips. You can just gently press into your supporting hand to roll your shoulder back and open through that lower shoulder a little more. Let's take one more breath. And then slowly come back on to your belly. Take a breath. And then very gently press yourself back. to a child's pose. Slowly roll yourself up onto your bottom. Coming in for double here. So if double pigeon is too much for your hips, so double pigeon, if you're unfamiliar, stacking one shin on top of the other. You can see here I've got a bit of a gap between my lower foot and my top shin. So you've got options. If you've got your block, you can pop the block between your foot and your upper shin or thigh. So you've got something supporting your top leg. You always want to flex this top foot back just so that you're not twisting your knee. And you want to try and get this top ankle at least on your thigh. So it's not sort of here on your lower shin. So that's an option. You may not need support. Maybe your hips are quite open. Go for it. If this still feels too icky for your hip, you're going to bring your top shin out in front. And so you've just got to be the gap between both legs. Sort of spring it in as parallel-ish as you can. So either option here is fine. Let's take a nice big reach to the ceiling. And then any amount, let's fold forward, drawing the belly in, spine is long. Then maybe letting your head and neck relax. Finding that space. Within that space, just exploring what's there. And we allow ourselves that time and space to observe and just be aware of what is. We open ourselves to kind of endless possibilities. We're not sort of trying to conjure up thoughts or ideas. We're just letting things come in, opening ourselves up to anything and everything. So let yourself just be here in this space. Just seeing what appears. In a position like double pigeon, it might be thoughts of discomfort or tightness or when the hell are we getting out of this? And that's okay. Acknowledge those thoughts. They are real. They are true to you. And see if you can let it go. And just see what else comes up. Take one more breath. Slowly bring yourself out of this hip opening position. So move your block if you were using it. And very, very gently, you might want to use your hands to lift your legs back. We're just going to come into reverse tabletop. So I'm just going to spin around, but you can stay wherever you are. So feet in line with hips, hands behind your hips with your fingers facing outwards. Squeeze your shoulder blades together first. Puff your chest up. Active through the upper body first, then squeeze your butt, push through your heels to lift your hips. Any amount is fine. Just opening the front of the hips, squeezing your bottom, breathing, and then release all the way down. And we come into the other side. So whichever shin was on the bottom last time is now on top, or whichever shin was in front last time is now behind. Again, using your block if you need to, or anything really that might work, a cushion. You might have your bolster. You may not need to prop it all, but just listening to your body. And indeed, if that is no more hip opening for me, thank you very much. That is also fine. You can just come into a regular cross-legged position or just come into Shavasana. Let's inhale. And then exhale, fold any amount is fine. Make sure that those toes are flexing back on that top foot, flexing back towards the knee. You may like to close your eyes here, if you're not doing that already. Just let yourself sink into the space. Notice what happens in those pauses in the breath. Those pauses in the thinking mind. And in this stillness of the body. Continuing the breath. Allowing it to flow. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, bring yourself up. Move your prop out of the way if you're using it. Gently bring your legs back. Maybe using the hands to help. Beautiful. From here, start to slowly roll yourself down onto your back. And just coming into bridge just for one hold. If you would like to take wheel, if that's in your practice, please feel free. Feet are hip distance apart. Let's squeeze the bum, press through the heels to lift the spine up off the floor. Opening through the hips. If you're taking wheel, go for it. If you're taking bridge, you might like to take a fist underneath your back, clasping your hands together. And then maybe gently walking your shoulders underneath you to open through the chest, squeezing shoulder blades down and back. Trying to lift your heart to your chin, press your head into your mat. Wheel, lifting, squeezing your bum, squeezing shoulder blades, pressing the floor away. Keep breathing. Taking one more breath. And then very gently coming out of your back bend, whichever one you were in. And just allow your knees to sway from side to side. Next time your knees come to center, just shuffle your bum over to the right of your mat. And just let your knees fall to the left. Just stacking one on top of the other. If you prefer to eagle wrap your legs, go for it. If you like to have your left heel on top of your right knee, also go for that. Just releasing the spine, the shoulders, the chest, the hips. Slowly come back through center. Shuffle your bottom over to the left. And let your knees fall to the right. And again, eagle wrapping the left leg over the right if you like. Popping your right heel on top of your your left thigh. Just being gentle with this twist. Breathing down into the belly. Holding this space for yourself. And gently coming back through center. If you would like to, you can take happy baby, maybe legs up the wall. A bit more energizing, perhaps shoulder stand, but you can choose to go a little more mellow. Seems like we are doing a mellow flow today. We won't be here for too long. Whichever version of an inversion you would like to do. And when you're ready, lowering your feet to the floor. Either taking Supta Baddha Konasana, soles of the feet together, knees wide, or coming into Shavasana. Option here to take a mudra in Shavasana, curling your index finger inside your thumb. So making a little circle with your finger and your thumb. And then just gently touching the tips of your ring and middle fingers to your thumb on both hands. Letting your pinky finger just relax out. Doesn't have to be perfectly straight. Just allowing the backs of your hands to rest on the floor. If you haven't already, close down your eyes. Resting your awareness with your breath. I'll leave you here for a few moments in silence. I'll let you know when we're coming out of Shavasana. Take a deep breath in. And a slow breath out. Bring your awareness back to your body. You can wriggle the fingers and toes, making any gentle movements that feel nice for your body. And then keeping your eyes closed, just gently roll to one side. Just allow yourself to lay here for a moment. Feeling the contact points of your body pressing into the floor. Feeling the space around you in the room. Slowly press yourself up to a comfortable seat. You can rest your hands in your lap, on your thighs, or you might like to bring your hands together at heart center. Take a moment here to acknowledge your practice, thanking yourself for taking the time to nourish your mind, your body, your breath, all of those things that are you. And to recognize and respect that that place in you is also that same place within me and within all of us. Bow your head and say namaste. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this mellow flow. I hope to see you sometime in another live or on our on-demand library. Stay tuned for more yoga coming to the on-demand library and hopefully to the online classes as well. And have a wonderful day. I'll see you really soon.